Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Kitra and Peter's Quarantine Kitchen.
Remember when we could just go down the street to Galaxy's Edge?
I remember.
Drink some blue milk, eat some Ronto wraps.
Our biggest worry was waking up at 5 a.m. to get a boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance.
Why did we complain about that?
I don't know.
I feel like we had it so good. Well, today, as we're stuck inside the house, we're gonna attempt to recreate a Ronto wrap from Ronto's Roasters.
I'm excited.
Come with us on this adventure. So a lot of people have been asking, like, how are we doing during the quarantine? How have we been doing?
I think for the most part we've been doing okay. I have had a few days with ups and downs, but for the most part, I'm personally doing okay. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, like, just watching content on screens.
Yeah, it's a lot of, like, the same thing. Get up, whatever, watch TV, go to bed.
Yesterday was super exciting. We went to the supermarket. We went to not only one supermarket, we went to a bunch of supermarkets. First, we went to Ralph's on Sunset, which is actually called Rock and Roll Ralph's. This is a Ralph's that's kind of famous because it's right next to Guitar Center, so all the, like, celebrity musicians go there. And this is actually the Ralph's that, like, screenwriter John August based the movie Go, if you've ever seen that on it.
It's a good movie, you should watch it.
And we went there and it kind of was a disaster.
It was, well, we had to get our necessities and then the stuff for this recipe, and it was the craziest, just claustrophobic, tons of people, kind of stressed me out. But then we went to another Ralph's and it was way more under control.
Yeah, we had to go to a couple, like actually 3 different places to get all the ingredients here and some of our necessities that we needed. It was kind of crazy because some places didn't have, like, finding pita bread was insane. Eventually we did find a pita bread. It was at Whole Foods and it was a vegan pita bread. Did we find it?
I think so. It says it's vegan though.
So anyways, we found some ingredients. Some of these are not exactly what goes into a Ronto wrap.
Not quite sure this is exactly what we want, but it's pretty much all they have. So I guess we'll just get this. In the search for finding a Ronto wrap recipe, I was expecting there to be a plethora of different recipes out there. There really was not. There was only maybe 2 that I found. One from a girl who had never been there before, so I didn't trust it. And then the one that we ended up going with was from a website called unlockyourownmagic.com. She claims that this recipe is, like, as good as it gets. So is it as good as it gets? We'll have to find out.
There is a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge cookbook out there. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting, the cookbook doesn't actually have the recipes from the park.
No.
And it goes under this premise that, like, the cookbook was written by someone who visited Batu and kind of copycatted the recipes. Mm-hmm. But the Ronto wrap looks nothing like a Ronto wrap.
Yeah, it has, like, guacamole on it or something. I mean, it looks good, but, like, I wanted to make the Ronto wrap from the park.
Yeah. So I guess let's start with the ingredients. What do we need to make a Ronto wrap?
Here is everything that you're gonna need for this recipe. A package of coleslaw mix, 1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of dried basil, 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil, and salt and pepper to taste. That is just for the coleslaw alone. Now moving on to the peppercorn sauce. You're gonna need 1/2 tablespoon of black peppercorns, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 1/4 cup of beef stock, 1 shallot, 1 clove of garlic, 1/2 tablespoon of butter, 1/2 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and salt to taste. And this is all the stuff that you're gonna need for the Ronto wrap itself. 4 mild pork sausages, pork tenderloin about 2 pounds, 3 cloves of garlic, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and 4 pieces of pita bread. I think we have everything we need. I've never cooked a pork tenderloin before, so this is gonna be fun. I'm not, like, a cook at all, so hopefully this doesn't turn out as a disaster.
Cooking with Kitra.
Quarantine cooking with Kitra in the kitchen.
We had trouble finding garlic, so we just got some minced garlic in a can or a jar.
Nobody really knows like what kind of sausage they use in Galaxy's Edge. A lot of people just said mild pork sausages, so we got some mild Italian sausage. I don't really know the difference in sausages, so I'm hoping that this is okay, and this is really like all that we could find.
And also some places you can actually get a peppercorn sauce without having to make it. We're gonna make it.
In some like butcher delis in the store, you could get sliced pork tenderloin. That wasn't like available, so we're cooking a whole pork. So the most time consuming part of this recipe is roasting that pork tenderloin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. You're gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Now that the oven is preheating, we could go ahead and prep our pork tenderloin. It's a big honkin' slab of meat, so I think I'm gonna make Peter do it.
We're gonna put together the mixture that we're gonna need for the pork tenderloin. And for that, we're gonna need olive oil, some salt and pepper, and also some garlic. And for garlic, we're gonna need 3 cloves. It looks like a half a teaspoon is approximately 1 clove of garlic. So now we're gonna brush on this mixture onto the pork tenderloin and cover both sides. Kind of feel like I'm like greasing up Jabba the Hutt's body.
It smells so good and garlicky.
So much garlic.
You are gonna need a roasting rack for your pork. We don't have that, so we're gonna improvise, and by doing so, we're gonna be using aluminum foil. There you go. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. We're gonna roast this pork for about 20 to 25 minutes, so I'm gonna do 23 minutes. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and make that tangy slaw. You're gonna need a cup of shredded up cabbage and half a cup of carrots. I have this pre-made mix. What I think I'm gonna do is just do a cup and a half of this because there's already carrots mixed in there. No, we're just playing it by ear. Now we have all this leftover yummy coleslaw mix to eat later.
Gross.
Yeah, nobody likes coleslaw. But for some reason, the coleslaw on the Ronto Wraps are so good. 1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You need a half teaspoon of basil leaves. I find that kind of strange because I don't normally taste the basil while eating a Ronto Wrap, but oh yeah, that gives it kind of like a tangy kick. Next up, we're gonna have half a teaspoon of sugar. Oh yeah. Nothing says coleslaw like sugar. Am I right? This is gonna be good. Ooh. Who knew that like Grey Poupon was so spicy? Is that what? I don't think I've ever had Dijon mustard before.
I do not like Grey Poupon.
Really?
I am uncivilized.
Yeah. Excuse me. Remember those commercials?
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon? But of course. Grey Poupon, one of life's finer pleasures.
This calls for half a teaspoon of the Grey Poupon. Ugh, gross. I mean, it smells good, so who knows? Half a tablespoon of olive oil, some salt and pepper.
Yummy.
Now let's stir this bad boy up. Now it just says you let this sit aside and kind of marinate while you do everything else. I will say, this smells quite intriguing.
Oh yeah, it is very vinegary.
You should try a piece.
No. I'll wait until the wrap is done.
The most delicious part, I think, of the Ronto wrap is that peppercorn sauce. So I'm about to make it, and hopefully it tastes just as good. This requires some stove action, so it should be a lot more exciting.
Just don't get our droids dirty from all the olive oil.
We have to dice up this entire shallot. It calls for 1 entire shallot minced. Crying because of the shallot. It's very, very strong. And I know a lot of you out there, let me just say it again. I'm not a chef. I know I'm probably doing this the wrong way, but it is what it is. Don't leave me any comments saying that I'm mincing this incorrectly. It's just making me so emotional. Thinking of Galaxy's Edge, thinking of the Ronto wrap, remembering better times. I like cut my finger in this video and have to go to the hospital. Now this is the fun part. Literally crying. Gotta roll up your sleeves. You gotta push all the little shallots together, and then you just go crazy. Just mince them on up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They need to be way more minced than that. Uh-oh.
Okay, so I think it might be done.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks almost like pastrami or something weird.
Ew, it looks really gross.
Okay, so I think it might need a little bit more time in there, so we're gonna put it back in for about 5 to 10 minutes. While we wait, I'm gonna drink some of my Ace pineapple cider. Awesome.
This Ace pineapple cider has been a lifesaver during this quarantine, let me tell you. It's so good.
5 minutes later.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that looks a lot better.
So we're gonna cover that with aluminum foil and let it rest for 10 minutes.
What did you touch?
Touch the pan by accident.
After mincing up my shallot, we have the proper amount of garlic, peppercorns, Worcestershire sauce, heavy cream, butter, and beef stock. This should be the fun part, making the sauce. I know I keep saying that, but I don't know, it all smells very good. You're gonna wanna put it to medium heat and get your butter in there. Get it nice and melty. There's nothing more satisfying than watching butter melt. We're gonna add the shallots in here and let them cook for about 3 minutes or until they become nice and fragrant.
So when we named this channel Ordinary Adventures, did you think we were gonna be doing cooking videos?
They smell nice and fragrant, so I'm gonna add the next step, which is adding the peppercorns. Ooh, the peppercorns. And the garlic. And we're gonna let this cook for like 1 to 2 minutes. He's disappointed in us. Or he's happy, I can't tell. I'm, haven't gone insane or anything because of this quarantine. Totally normal, talking to my orange bird. We're gonna add the Worcestershire sauce and the beef stock. Ooh, baby. Now it's time for the cream. You're gonna wanna bring this mixture to a boil, which I think it's clearly doing that, and then let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Is it smelling like a Ronto wrap in here?
Probably like something.
Yeah.
So you're gonna wanna constantly stir this for the whole 10 minutes?
Seems like a job that Peter can handle.
Little do they know, I'm usually the one that is doing the cooking in this family. I'm usually the chef.
So that's just to kind of let it sit there and cool. I don't know, like the peppercorns are just whole peppercorns still. I don't remember there being like whole peppercorns like that.
Doesn't matter what it looks like, it matters what it tastes like.
That's true. We messed up. You're supposed to use crushed black peppercorns, not whole peppercorns. So I'm trying to figure out a way to crush these now that the sauce is already made. It's not really working. I'm sorry. I messed up. It's gonna happen. You know, this is a learning process. Should I try a bite with the whole peppercorn? I feel like it's not gonna be good. Oh yeah. Okay, no. I need to pick those out of there. Woo! Don't ever eat a whole peppercorn. That was a mistake.
A few minutes later.
So we're gonna try the sauce again. And now we're really hungry. The good news is this time these shallots aren't making me cry as much, so.
It's just having to make this whole sauce again that's making me cry. Darn.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just so hungry. I'm ready to try this. Ready for this Ronto wrap in my belly. I'm not gonna make you guys suffer by watching me make this sauce again. Just know, don't use full peppercorns. Either somehow find a way to crush them or just use pepper. Like, problem solved. So since we couldn't find like the exact right kind of sausage, you're just gonna wanna cook the sausages that you get however it says on the package. So ours, you know, you just fry it in a frying pan. Never cooked sausages before. Apparently this is how you do it.
They don't look golden brown. Okay, so now I'm gonna slice the pork tenderloin into like 1/4 inch slices. That's a lot of hard work, slicing.
This seems like a lot of pork to me. Like, we're gonna have pork to eat for the rest of the week, I feel.
So what do you think about the Ronto wraps?
I don't care. The final step, I'm gonna toast the pita bread. They don't really specify how to do this, kind of just whatever floats your boat. If you wanna grill it, if you wanna put it right over the flame, if you wanna pop it in the oven for a second, or just put it in a hot pan for like a minute or two. I think that's what we're gonna do, just to give it like a little bit of extra toastiness. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Yes, we're so hungry.
So now that everything's cooked, we take the pita, put it on a plate, 3 slices of the pork roast, put it on there. Get the sausage, put it on top there. And we top it with some of the coleslaw, the sauce. It's going slow. It's not white, it's brown. I think that was because of the beef stock, right?
Yeah.
Does that look like a homemade Ronto wrap?
It's finally time to chow down.
Cheers.
Cheers. I think these are pretty dang delicious. I feel like the only thing, the sausage that we got doesn't taste exactly the same, but the pork turned out really, really good.
Yeah, the sausage has like a Italian sausage taste to it. I mean, it was Italian sausage, but
That's all we could find, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I'm enjoying this.
The sauce is good, and actually everything is good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that this is as good as a Ronto wrap is in Disneyland, but you know what? Disneyland's closed.
Yeah.
Disney World's
I was
closed.
gonna say, I'm definitely not disappointed. I was worried because the peppercorn sauce was brown and in the park it's white, but honestly, it tastes pretty dang delicious. I'm like honestly shocked.
Yeah, I recommend this. I would give this like a 4 out of 5 Peters.
I think this probably gets a 5 for me.
Really?
Not saying that it tastes exactly like the one in the park, but just we made it. It took us a very long time. I think we did a pretty dang good job.
I'm very happy with this.
Me too.
I'm not a big Italian sausage guy, so I feel like if I could go back in time, I would just get some normal hot dogs and put them in here. I feel like that would maybe make it a 5 out of 5, because the Ronto wraps in Batu taste more like a hot dog than they do an Italian sausage in my mind anyways. Please let us know if you enjoyed this cooking video. Give it a thumbs up below. Tell us if you want to see us make more stuff from Galaxy's Edge. Maybe we could try the blue milk next.
There's so much stuff that we can make. If you want to see us eat the actual Ronto wrap, check out these videos right over there. It's a whole playlist of Galaxy's Edge. we're missing it. Hopefully you guys enjoy these videos during these tough times.
Yeah, I missed that too. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next adventure.